Good morning, good morning. There, that's better. How's everybody doing today? How's your Thursday going? Mine is going good so far, although it just started. I just got up, did all the morning routine, and then sat down here. I did just run our asteroids to sort of like remember where we had left off. We basically can fly around. Everything is looking good here. And then when we crash, uh, we have an explosion of particles, and then we die. And what we really want to do is we want to be able to start again. Oh, we so what I'm thinking of, like initially I was thinking of, oh, we'll just wait like 3 seconds, and then we'll spawn the player back again in the center here, and that might be good. But I was also thinking that we could display a like a message on screen, like you died, like how many lives are left, and then like press enter to respawn, and then when we do that, it then respawns the player here, and off we go. And so a flag might be good for that. The other reason that might be really good is I don't necessarily, like, it's up to the player now to determine when they want to respond. So they can wait for like the optimal time. Otherwise, I might respond them when it's like not quite as easy to handle, like, you know, some incoming asteroid that would just hit them within a couple of seconds. I do remember that's a problem from the original arcade game. Maybe that's something we could solve here. So let's go ahead and like figure out what we need for that. I'm thinking to begin with, we can start with, let's see. If we even don't start with a player, and we just have this sort of like message, like spawn the ship when it's time. So let's say we have lives left, and that could be a resource. So let's head over into names. Let's add lives left. Lives remaining. And then we can add this as a resource. And then our data, we could basically say you're a 3 U32. We have 3 lives total, let's say. Now, do I want to do 3 lives total, or is it really 4 lives total? The current life that we start with, and then the 3 lives in case we die. I think 3 lives total might be good. We could also like experiment with points, and like every X points increase our life, or have something that we can like fly over to increase our life. That might be something interesting to look into as well. But all right, so we have our lives remaining. So we might actually want to start this as 2. We then immediately create the player. We know that the asteroids cannot be over the player when they're created, so we're good to go at the beginning of the game. That being said, we could also do, let's say we don't create the player. Say we don't do this. We create the asteroids. Now, right now I have 0 through 5. Eventually we want to do a level system where, like, after we destroy the last little bit of asteroid, we then create, we increment the level and create more. So let's see, what do we want to do for this? If we're not creating the player, we're going to be creating the like start game. Spawn play. We're going to create the spawn player message. And perhaps the message that we create for it is going to depend on how many lives we have left. If we have 3 lives left, let's say, then our message will be something like start game by pressing enter. If we have less than 3 lives left, maybe we say you died, you have 2 lives left, press enter to spawn ship. Let's see. Now, where would we want to do that? Let's I think in our draw we could check. Okay, so we could actually put a drawable mesh. Is it a mesh? Not really, because it's drawable. So it might be good for us to check to see if there's a player, and then we can check to see we can have a message. We can have a resource message that will be a text. Do we need just a text? Which in that case we could just do, yeah. I think having a text fragment might be best here. It wouldn't be a mesh. We could update GGECS for it. No, BBECS. That might work. So let's see, what if I were to create a text fragment, what would that end up looking like? Let's say I wanted to actually add a resource, or I guess we'd need to create a player. So this creates this actual thing. Let's say we create a create message. I'm not exactly sure what exactly we need in here, and I don't really know what we're returning. Probably a game result of like a text or a text fragment, I think. But let's go ahead and sort of like play around with it a little bit. So if I do let the text equals text new, and the message could be coming in here. Okay, that gives me an actual just text. So this, we might want something like that. However, this is just like really small, and I can't really do anything with it. Although, is that true? We can set the dimensions. No, that returns the dimensions. We can set the font. So we can set the font. So this takes a font. So we can use like a default font, or we can like pull one in and add it to our resources. And then our font scale. You're a scale, aren't you? Uniform. Let's make you like I don't know what you want to be. Fit 15, whatever that means here. I keep on forgetting. Okay, but that's still returning. That's mutating itself. So set font and scale, and so then we're going to return this text. All right, so we don't need this text fragment. I can now create this message, and we can throw it into our main library. Now it is a text though. So if I want to use it actually in the library, I need to add that in as a resource here. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll head over to the mod here and we'll update our tests to handle this. So I was thinking that we could actually create a sort of like a mod test for each of the resource types that we're sort of playing around with the testing. So we have the key codes. Okay, so like should get a key code resource, should get a key code component, mutably get key code, mutably get key code components, and then that's it. So the four things we should be able to do. So down here, so where are we doing this? Okay, so we have this mod test here, and so I kind of want to do like another config test. And this time I'm gonna mod testing. What is this called? This is mod testing like text. B Porter, good morning. Hello. What are you upset about? Why are you so dimmed out? Code is inactive due to config directives. Test is disabled. Oh, because it's test, not tests. There we go. Rizix, hello. You envy my ability to spend time on learning Rust in such a steady pace. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's something I learned a long time ago, which was it's if I want to like learn and improve my skills, I have to like make the time for it. It's not just gonna like be something I can add to like a to-do list. It just doesn't work for me. And then the other thing I learned was if I try to do it after work, I'm just tired and I don't feel like doing anything. So morning before work, that's my time. That's when I can like improve myself. And then I also love bringing you on this adventure too. And if I can inspire some of you to do the same thing, I am more than happy. right, so if we do this now, we want to use super like that. And then we can pull in. Wait, you don't know what to pull in? Oh, you don't know what to pull in. Interesting. Maybe if I restart Rust Analyzer, it will know what to pull in. No, okay. So let's come back up here. So we're gonna want these cast components. We want basically all of this stuff. All right, we don't need point, and we don't need the super. Okay, we're good to go now. And let's now change these. So instead of should get key code resource, so instead of key code like this, we want to change this to like a text. All right, so add new resource. So wherever we have the name, I want to change you to just be text. And then the data here, so instead of this key code A, I need to actually like create the text. I don't know if this is going to make, oh, no, it went too far. I don't know if this is going to make as much sense. Because I don't know if I can just say like text new, this is a text. Which, I mean, that does work. That returns a text. And so that's fine. That's what I would want to store away. Obviously, you don't support that, but that's the entire point of these tests. Wrapped key code. Okay, so then I don't want this to be like wrapped key codes. It's gonna be like the wrapped resource. It's the wrapped thing. Maybe wrapper. Okay, so our generic wrapper equals, we'll get resource. Okay, so we're gonna get this text resource, we're gonna borrow it. Then we have like, okay, then we have this key code. Oh, too much. Oh, because it's, I wonder if I could do that. Not really. Well, sort of. Oh, there's key codes too. So just those two, I think. So this is gonna be like the item. I don't know. I feel it's getting too hard to do them all together at once. I'll just do them one at a time. So we get the world, we add the resource, which is this text. We have our wrapper. I mean, so we can just do like wrapper text. This is a resource, so wrapper text. We then get the resource out, we borrow it. So this becomes our text is a reference to a text. by casting it. And then we assert equal that the destructured text here is the same as text new. This is a text. All right, so that should be good for that. Oh, but you can't do that with text. Okay, okay. So we might need to go look at the documentation for text to see what we can do with it. None of you are public, so we can't grab anything out of here. Okay, content returns the string that the text represents. We could just grab that. So contents. So text.contents and your .contents. So in this case, you should just be this. Can compare stir with stir. Interesting. I don't need to destructure you then. There we go. You're a wrapper text. Oh, not that. You're a wrapper text. Okay, so I think we're good here. Then we're gonna come here and update YouTube. So create a new world. Register. Okay, so text. Our component. So this is now registering something new. So we're gonna want this component to be something like a ggez text. Spawn entity with component text. This will be our text new. Texting. Then we have our wrapper equals, we could just, it's gonna be text. World query 1 for text, unwrap borrow, our key codes. So this is going to be our text is reference to a vector of text. We cast that text, cast that out. And then we say, okay, text of position 0 dot contents. And we want you to be texting. Okay, so far the errors are only on the places which we don't have the thing. Okay, that's good. Should mutably get the text resource. So world, add resource text. We can do TT. And this is resource, so it's single. Okay, so we're gonna get the resource text, borrow mute. Text is a mutable reference to a text. Wrapper text, cast mute. Oh, so then updating it. So updating the text. I'm curious about this because is that even something we can do? Yeah, this returns a string that the text represents. So I'll have to just change it. So this will now be text is now equal to text new other text. Then I'm gonna get text is now just a we cast it normally. So wrapper text we cast you assert equal that our text dot content is equal to other text now. Okay, so you should be fine. All right, so again, the same places are the only things that are having trouble. And then finally, should mutably get the components. So this is gonna be GGZ text. Yeah, that's consistent up there. Okay, so spawn this with the component text new meow. Yes, then it's just saying, hey, you don't have a text here. That's fine. So we have our wrapper text. Load query 1 for text, unwrap, borrow, mute. Text is equal to mutable vector of text. Okay, so wrapper test, we cast mute. We then want to overwrite you. So text position 0, we now want to say is equal to text new. Let's say like bark. We're gonna drop these wrapper texts. Then we get them again. So query them again. Do I need to drop it if I shadow? I don't know if I need to. World query 1, text unwrap borrow. This can be our text is here a text. So wrapper text cast, then assert equal. So text 0 dot contents is the same as bark. All right. Yeah, I don't think we need to drop the wrapper text there, but okay, let's make all these errors go away, and once we have that, we can run the test and make sure that it's all happy and working. All right, so first one here, the trait bound world methods graphics test is not satisfied. So, well, hello, Zilby. Are you here to say hi? Oh, and chewing the wire again. I've been thinking about getting some speakers for down here, and if I do, I can like, the microphone is good enough. It shouldn't be able to pick them up. I'll keep the music on nice and quiet, but then when I hold him like this, there won't be like wires heading up towards my head, which is very attractive for him. Oh, something got your attention? Or you're looking at the green screen. Yes. Are you just gonna stand there now? Okay. Okay, this is nice and all, but it's not super comfortable. I'm like holding my arm out so I can stand on it. This is premium content. This is what I do for you. All right. Oh, you're gonna head over there, so I can turn on cat cam. All right, let's see. What was I doing? Kitty Cat decided we needed a break. Let's see, add resource. Okay, so right. Our world methods, we now need the text for world methods. So we're gonna come up to here and we're gonna implement world methods for text. Okay, so with component, so you're actually still into string. Name that, data that, result self. We then insert. Okay, so we do all that stuff and then add resource. Also a string. Name, set resources, insert into resources, and then this is going to be our resource GEZ text. So we're going to have to add that next. Okay, so resource, you need which is going to be a text. And what? Oh. Ref cell GGEZ graphics test cache metrics cannot be shared between threads safely. Well, wait a second. Why am I sharing this between threads? Required because the requirements in the impl of standard convert into error report for BBECS error. Really? Oh, no. Okay. So previously in errors, and then what was this for? This is for resource. This is resource cast. So casting resources, attempt from resource to static string. I think what we should actually have this be is like a from static stir to static stir. We don't know what you are though, do we? We don't know what this is, so I don't actually know if I can do a from now. So I can't just like throw components in there. Yeah, okay, this is gonna be not quite as easy as I was hoping it would be. So I think we can just do the two. So we might as well just change this to a tuple. And have a stir like this, which I think needs to be just the static stir. And then to this thing like that. Then we don't need to pull in resource to know about that type. So we're going to come back to here, and now we have to update all of these. 99 errors. Lovely. Okay, so missing structure field. This is the, yeah, okay. So all of these need to get updated now, which is wonderful. So let's see if I can do this with multi-lining. So wherever we have this like casting resource, so far it's all the same. Okay, so I can go down 2. So I can go. So casting resources right here. Oh, actually, you know what? I want to go up like this, left twice. Okay, now I want to go home. Let's go home. Forward. Oh, because that, okay, that's like the reference. I don't want that. Hold on. There, I want this to the end. Nope, didn't want that. Oh man, I just lost all my. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, so here I'm at 2. I want to just move forward until I get to here. I want to get shift control. No, I want shift end and then move back to there. Copy that. Okay, we can come down to here now. And we're going to replace you with the string of that. You're still very unhappy. What's going on? Variant errors, BBECS error, casting resource has no field named front. Wait, what? There, save. Oh. Wrong keyboard layout. I'll get you every time. All right, so that fixes that problem. Cool, we're down from 99 errors to 9. All right, so back into here, our world methods text. 99 errors of rest in a console, 99 errors of rest. Track one down. Type Swinky frown. 98 errors of rest in the console. I didn't fix it in that though. So they're going away on their own. But I like it. I like where it's going. The trait bound world entity data text. Okay, so we need entity data traits. So we need to head on over into here. And here's this here's the entity data traits. We now need to implement those for this. Just copy you. I'll do a graphics test. Maybe he's workshopping. Oh yeah, I'm sure we can get something like that. All right, so we're going to insert self. Okay, so we're going to take our name, which is a string slice. Our data, which is the text. We're going to get a wrapped, so not a wrapped marker. This is going to be a wrapped text. And so you are actually multiple. Self components, get mute, unwrap, borrow mute. Okay. That you're the text. We get that as the mutable vector of text. We cast it mutably, and then we push the data in. Okay, perfect. I mean, in this case, it's also like we do like the 99 errors in the console, take one down, fix it, 100 errors in the console. That's fun. Hash brown, where am I? I'm in rest up. I don't need to be here. Okay, so you're not satisfied, right? So now we need to add this cast mute. So this is the components cast. So up at the top, we have the cast components. In here, we now need to implement you. For text. All right, so cast mute, result, a vector of text. Okay, so let components, and so we need components needs to have GG easy text is a vec of text. Okay, so then the components marker. Okay, so you're not a marker anymore. We care you about a GG easy text. We're gonna get our text out and return it. If we have this casting components, we're gonna run into this exact same problem. Because it doesn't implement this. We need to head over to our error and also fix this for the casting components. So casting components, we need to change you to like that. Okay. As sad as it is, I'll take care of the warnings later. All right. So then casting components, you come down and you're just going to be. Actually, all of you are going to have this problem. So hold on. I need to do this. I'll pretend that it's what we wanted it to be here. So from itself.clone and your the GG easy text, an empty vector there. All right, so that's great there. We then have you be the text. You should be text. Okay, there we good there. Casting components from, and then your GGZ text. Okay, good to go there too. But I now need to unfold all, find these errors and fix them. Then what are you upset about? Match self. Okay, missing an arm. Okay, so for in here, this is in the delete, right? This is the delete, yeah. So this can be our data. If index is less than data.length, data.remove index. And now down to this. Okay, so for our casting components, select everything, and we're gonna do the same fun multi-cursor here. So two. I kind of want to just choose whatever this is. Copy you. And we're gonna make you that. And still have the dot into. All right, that works. No more errors. Mark. Oh, ooh. I didn't do that right. The point gets across, like point is fine. The F32, less fine. Color is actually fine. Mesh is fine, almost. The U32, not so fine. I can't do that. You can do that. All right, U size is fine. A Boolean is not fine. This GG easy key. Hey, whatever that means. This is the key code. Oh, marquee. This is marker and text. Okay, fixed all of you. 5 errors left. All right, what are you upset about? The trait bound. Okay, so this is resource cast for text. So we need to head into resource cast and then handle it for text. Okay, so for resource, if cast self result text, if that resource, so you're not a marker. We want you to be a GG easy text. We can do something like that. All right, we're happy there. 2 errors left. Okay, so component, there is no component named GGEZ text. We can fix that. Missing match arm. Okay. No errors left. All right. So we have no errors left. If we come back into the mod and if we go and run all these tests. Fails. Okay, so fine. What's going on? Test world testing text should mutably get text resource. Panicked at already mutably borrowed. Okay, so we do need. Wait, am I correct? Wait, where'd it go? Here it is. Already mutably borrowed. 436. Wait a second. So 436. This one. So I do need this drop. Okay. Yeah, that drop is absolutely necessary because even if I try to shadow, it already exists. And it's like, hey, you can't do that. Order operations is wrong. All right, so now I should be able to do a I can CD into the BBECS and run all the tests. Everything works, so that means we can just take care of these warnings. Create message is never used. Oh yeah. Oh wait, this is an asteroids. We're just starting it. Don't worry about that. That's fine. Unused import helpers create player ship. Yes, I know. Player. Yes, I know. Respawn. It doesn't know the word. Sure. User. It's now a word. I promise you, it's a word. It's a real word. Okay, so in our cargo.toml, I believe, for asteroids rust, we are just going straight to the path, which means that if we like bump up this version inside of, well, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's just going to grab this information here. So I should be able to come back here to asteroids and do a cargo run. And everything works as expected, except now we can store a text in, which is going to be really nice. So let's reset. Head over to the main library. So the entire point of us doing this here is I want to be able to register, I want to be able to register like the text, and we can add this in as an actual component to display, which I think will be really nice here. So we're going to do, oh, not particles world. We want just world register. Oh, we don't have anything in names, do we? So this is going to be like the message to display to screen. And then our component type, component GGEZ text. Okay, we have that. Then okay, so once we register the names, then we need to actually like create this, well, we have the text, right? We have like, we can create the text, and then we need to like spawn it. So let's actually go ahead and give this create asteroid. Let's do this here. So we can have a create message. So we care about the message, and that's going to be a stir right now. And we need the world, which is going to have to be a mutable reference to the world. And after that, I'm not sure what we need. All right, so let's first get that text. So okay, so we're gonna create the message. Oh, that's not. Let's name this like insert message into world. You then pass this on through, and then you are a game result with the text. Oh, you're a game result with the text, so we can unwrap you. Okay, that gives us our text. Wonderful. Looking at this, there's no question marks that we need here. Actually can just return the text straight up. So this doesn't need to be unwrapped anymore. Okay. Once I have that text, I now want to spawn this as an entity and add in all of these components. Okay, so what do we got going here? Location. Where do we want to put this? Let's put it like at 50.0, 50.0, because I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. We could actually get the information about like the width and height of the text. That actually might be helpful here. Yeah, let's try that. So if I take in the so into the world, so we have like the screen. Yeah, let's just take in like the screen size. Which is a tuple of F32, F32. We can get the dimensions of the text, which I think actually can get directly with like width and height on it too. So we can then figure out where the location should be. Okay, so you should be a point new for our X. I want this to be the middle of the screen minus half of the text. So that's going to be our screen size dot 0 divided by 2.0 minus our text dot width. Okay, so we do need context too. I don't know why we need context, but sure. So what do you care? You then return a U32, and you are all F32s. So then, as an F32, okay, so that's just the X position. So I want to do the exact same thing for Y. Y is going to be the screen size 1 divided by 2.0 minus our text dot height. Pass in the context as an F32. Oh, and these need to be divided in half too. All right, nice. So now we have a more accurate location here. Rotation, we're gonna have nothing. Velocity, we're gonna have nothing. Justosophy. Hello, good morning. You know, something that I can do for this is I can have like a default point that gives me zeros, and I want to say that actually exists. If I come here, okay, so derive default. I don't know if I want to derive a default. Oh, don't worry about it whatsoever. You don't have the hardest name. Let's go ahead and implement default ourselves just to make sure that it really is what we think that it is. So impl default for point. We're going to return a self with an x that's a 0 and a y that's a 0. That's going to allow us to do point default here whenever we want to get just a zeroed out point, which means you're the same thing. Okay, a mesh. We need a mesh. I don't want to have a mesh in this component. I would love to be able to have just like a text instead of a mesh. But meshes and texts are not the same thing. And I don't think in Mesh Builder can I kind of like convert a text. I have a texture, but that's not the same thing. Yeah, it's okay. There's just like a bunch of triangles essentially. So it's not that, and I don't think I can. Well, so they're concretely different types. So that's not a good sign here. What this means though is I need this unfortunately to be something like a none. In reality, I want to be able to just not do this at all. Like, in this case, I would basically say you have a location and that you have a text. That's pretty much it. But to do that, we need to then wrap everything. All of the components need to have options. So that way we can know whether or not they're going to be like something in there. It's not too terrible of something for us to deal with, but it's going to be a lot of refactoring. But I'm not sure any way to get around it at this point in time. We just don't have enough. Unless I like did something else for like how to determine vectors that aren't of the same length, and like skipping over. I don't think that's going to be as. I think doing options are going to be simpler for us to do. So basically, let's think about what I want to do. I don't want a rotation. We want a location. We don't need a velocity. We don't need an acceleration. We don't. Okay, a marker would probably be right. So entity types. This could be like a message. And then size. We could do the size here, but I don't think we need to care about that. I think this is like all we would need to do, and then with component names message, and the data here is going to be the text. And so this doesn't yell at me when I do this now, but we're going to get problems, unfortunately, pretty quickly. So insert message into world. We're going to come back up here after we've registered it. Instead of like this creating a player, we can now insert message into world. So our message will be press enter to start game. Immutable reference to the world. We already have that, so I think I can just pass in world. Is that true? That may be a lie. Our screen size, which here is drawable size. Okay, so we just have the width and height here. And then the context. Then we're going to unwrap you and we're good to go. So this all works temporarily. But as soon as I run this, I bet we're gonna get a crash. Because index is out of bounds, the length is 5, but the index is 5. As soon as we try to... What happened here? Update movement. As soon as we try to do update movement, we realize that there is no, like, not everything has something. So to fix that, we're gonna have to head over into components. Oh, I think it's mod. And here where we have pretty much every single one of these now. So we have this vec. We're gonna want to change this so we have a vec of option and then close. As all the errors start popping up. So by doing that, now, yes, okay, so if let components points, here's this vec of option. So the return type needs to be updated. So inside of here where we have, hey, we're returning this vec of t. Oh, is there some of them on different lines? No, I don't see them. Oh, it's because of the T. It's because of the T. I'll do something like this. Vec of that. There. That gets all those. So vec is now going to be an option. Go over to the other side. T. Yeah, so option point, option F32. Okay, that's great. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. And so you're happy. So cast. We're going to make the Asteroids game handle the option. I don't really see any way around this other than erroring, but we kind of need it to not error. This will then allow me to have everything be the same length. So entity data traits now. You are So yeah, we can't just push data in. Now we have to push in, nope, some data. Okay, so that'll make you happy. You'll be a some data here too. Oh, all of these. Okay, so hold on. Wherever we have this, become a sum. That. Utsby, hello. You could flag unused component entries with a bit mask or similar and have a dummy mesh entry, perhaps. How would that work? A dummy mesh entry. Oh, I don't like the idea of having a dummy mesh entry though. And like, the more I've been going through this, I kind of like the, well, the bit mask might be interesting. How would I use, so I'm not familiar with bit masks. How would I use it? Like, I've heard of it before, but I've never actually used one. You don't like strawberry ice cream, but it works as ice cream. Would that just be dynamic dispatch then with like traits and like a box dyn any or the ref cell dyn any, or not dyn any, but like dyn component? So in here we need, okay, so we have this view to vec. You're gonna be an option size or whatever you are. Okay, so then we have this option here. We can't just do this anymore. It's gonna have to be an if let sum data equals this. We get this Boolean. The problem, let's see, can I that? And then we want to say data destructured data is equal to true. Will that work? You're not yelling at me, so probably. Okay, you could have a component that is a bit field with ones for active component types and zeros for inactive. So you can skip over components that are actually not really populated for an entity. Otherwise, you could just have the dummy entry and just test for equality. Oh, interesting. Okay. And this would be when I do the query. So a component that is a bit field with ones for active component types and zeros for inactive. So you can skip over components that are actually not really populated. So would that be, now I would have two structures essentially, one with the actual data and another one with just this bit map, letting me know which ones actually have real stuff in it. And then when I query, I could then filter on top of that. I kind of like that. And then the backup could be this dummy entry. I think I like that. So let me note down. I'm gonna head over to our documentation here. So here we have all these different things. And if we take a look at, say this is like a player. This is like an asteroid. Maybe this is also an asteroid. But then we're gonna have a message. So the idea is it's still gonna have all these things behind the scenes, but depends how much you dislike having options. It just becomes a lot of if-let sums, like everywhere, or unwrapping, which is not as good. So if we look at this, okay, so it's either gonna be like 1 or 0 or a true and false, right? So we would then copy this entire thing for the actual data. So you would be like the data, and you would be the bitmap. So in this data, we have this is deleted. We have like location. Let's say you're like, 156, 250. Everyone gets that. Velocity, sure, you all get these, but you don't get anything at all. So there's nothing here. Marker, you're a player. You're actually, you know what? I can just pull you in. You're an asteroid, and you're a message, and then you're a false down here. But because you don't exist, then in here in this bitmap, you would be true for everyone here. But velocity, you'd be don't do whatever that is. True, false. Everyone is true again. And oh, you're not, say you're not deleted. You're there. Actually, no, because this is interesting. The bitmap, you're all true. Regardless of what you're actually set to, you are true here. Interesting. So would this be it? I was just thinking an active components component that held the flags for all the component types rather than some big copy of the whole structure. Active component that held the flags for all the component types. So how would it know? Oh, okay. Wait a second. So instead of this, you're thinking we would have like, we have a player. Well, the ECS doesn't know about component types, right? Like how does it know? So like when I created that, we know that it has a location, a velocity, a marker, and is deleted. For an asteroid, we know it has these same things. For a message, we know you have a location and a marker and is deleted, and that's it. And then when I go into query, I say, hey, I'm getting a message. And I only have these types set up on it. I guess the problem is when I want to get an asteroid, so I get all the velocities, and let's say there's going to be like another one of these too. As an active component 000111 where the bits are related to your names.rs list. Oh, well, fine. Even if I have that though, how am I, when I query for all the velocities, going to strip? Okay, so I have to fill this in, like I have to remove this one, and then I have to remove this one too. Or an array of true false, so that's easier to think about. Right now it's a little bit easier to think about, but I guess like how to use it is what I'm trying to figure out. Like how do I use this thing to get to like not return this location, to remove this specific one when I'm getting all the locations to update for velocities. And like, how do I tell it? Like, how do I tell ECS, I want all the locations that, oh, it's going to be like, I want all the locations that also have velocity. So I want everything that has a location and a velocity together, or a location, a velocity, and a acceleration. I want all of those things and ignore any ones that don't have all three. So if I imagine that these are arrays of these types that I've created with like true set up in them. So I have like the name set up and then array of this bitmap. And we have this also set up here. I want to say query for location and velocity. Then here, I would say, okay, I want all the location. Give me a location. These two have it, so give me position 1 of this. These two have it, give me position 2 of this. These two have it, give me that position. These don't have it, skip over this index. These have it, get this location. So then that would give me everything other than this position. I think that might work. I think it would make it more robust, and that so we would need a full query, and we would need, okay, so coming up, like what we need to do. We need a full query query all. This will query everything based. I want you to be separate. Okay, so this will query everything. This will return the vectors if all of the vectors have data. So we're gonna query, we have to query all, then we have to create this bitmap. This will map what rows and columns have data in them. And is there anything else that we care about? Like the query is going to sort of take care of that, which means kind of need to do this in this order. Like that. And then obviously, you know, create some tests, update asteroids. That's going to be a pretty big deal. Let's go ahead and undo a bunch of the work that I just did. So in here in BBECS, so in mod, did I ever, okay, so we have, oh, because I added in the text also. I think we're just gonna have to re-add in the text stuff. Because I forgot to commit between when adding in the text. Although, you know what? We can just like stage chunks and not do like the options part. That feels like it's not as easy. I think what I'm gonna do is just say like, yeah, that was not the best idea to add in all these options. Okay, so we have this components mod. So now you're just the text, no option. Okay, so I think we're good there, so we can stage that. Point. I added this default, so we're good there. Errors, we changed that, we're good there. Resources. We're good here. Entity data. Okay, so we do have some of this, like the sum stuff. So we need to do that too. So entity data. Okay, I think we're good here. And then our mods. Okay, so we have this option in world mods too. Oh, and then we add you back in. Okay, we should be... All right, we're back to no errors, and we should be good to go here. So I just undid my undo. Before I commit this up, let's also update cargo.toml. Oh, wrong one. And we're gonna make you 019. So let's see. Able to handle GG easy text. And I'll go ahead and push that up for Asteroids here. What did we do? So this is day 10. We now, I guess like we didn't really do much in here, did we? Like we started to create the message, so this is really just like a work in progress. This is like figuring out how to message. And we'll go ahead and push that on up. All right, so it is 8:30, and that does mean it's the end of today, unfortunately. So I'm